Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Guys, the Chickens here. We are back to another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we have a very special guest right beneath me, right below me, right below the rifleman right there. We got Mr. OP Destroy on the horn. We're going to go over your day one path for season 49. OP, thanks for coming on. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you, man. I feel like the Brady Bunch. Here's a story of a chicken up there. He's looking at me from up above. Okay.
We need to get like six other guys in different squares in the video. But
yeah, man. Thanks for having me, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So we've got a pretty interesting season. By now, you guys have all seen the sneak peeks and that kind of stuff. So we're going to kind of hash out maybe a day one path. I mean, it's not to the letter, right? It's subject to change. Subject to change once the season goes live. But maybe I'll throw it out to you first, OP, and see what you're thinking for day one. And here are the stats we got up on the screen.
That's snazzy looking, man. Look at you. You get so artistic, chicken.
Yeah. Just for a quick reference, if you need to, while you tell us what to do.
50% troop health all season. That's we've seen that before, haven't we?
Yeah, it's not been good.
Yeah, I know, right? So all right, cool, good to know. All right. So this is day one path, right? I mean, we're right. Run out of the gate. You know, most people that have finished decently last season will be able to jump from 2 to 3 ER. So I'm gonna kind of go off of that. Now, my 2 ER friends, heavy rushing is gonna be your answer, okay? Just FYI.
Yeah.
Going into 3 ER with Bullet being there, chicken. If you want to coochie. We also have flares early on. Good point that you picked them out because you need flares to flare your troops. Otherwise, it's Clash of Clans. But Bullet, Smoke, and Shock Bomb all in 3 ER. What I see there as well, troop damage. That little 4 corner there of the Smoke, Shock, Warriors. Yes, I said Warriors. Troop damage and Bullet makes for a Warrior smorgasbord run, in my opinion. If you don't want Bullet, you got Brick right there as well for battle orders. So you gotta pick up Brick. That's the only issue here. Call her a key vacuum, as you would say, chicken. But
potentially,
you gotta pick up. It's a key vacuum, right? I would say maybe.
Could be.
But Brick, you have to get. So if you pick up Bullet, you gotta pick up Brick. That's 84 keys. Boom community, so you're gonna have to make your decisions. But Bullet's good for taunting with warriors. So look at that. Clearing mines, because there'll be boom mines and regular mines out aboard. So I think warriors could be super fast, and they'll be faster than heavy rushers. So that's what I'm probably gonna go for. That's one option, and yeah, that's where I'm going. Probably day one.
Okay, very interesting. Now, the thing is they've kind of, with this tech tree, I feel like they've kind of taken a little bit out of last season where they've kind of made these like solid runways, right? With these rabbit holes, whatever you want to call them. Like, not everything is connected in the tech tree. So if, like you're saying, OP, there's Bullet, Boom Mine, Shock Bombs at 3 ERs, or there's Warriors if you go on the bottom. But, we can potentially skip all of that top stuff, even though all of it's really good, and just go straight away on the bottom path because, like you said, we have to get Brick. And if we're going to the top path, like, we're going to want shock bombs and boom mines and boom cannons at some point. And this is also a sky shield, which is huge. So we're going to want all of that at some point. But we also have the alternate path where we could just go quickly to 4, grab the bombardiers maybe in the stat nodes. So I think it's going to be really interesting. I think both ways are probably going to be good. And you're probably going to need everything at some point. But what's going to be better, first off? I don't know. I think it's
good point that you bring up 4 ER rushing there, going the bottom path. This is what I like about they're getting better at designing these tech trees. I give it the big kudos to the team. But if you take bottom path, I see that right when you enter 4 ER, you get rocket choppers. Bullet and rocket choppers would be great if you go that path.
And we have to get rocket choppers.
Yes, but look where boom cannons are. They're on a dead-end node back in 3.
True.
So if people don't have boom cannons, you get critters. Really good, I think you get critters in 4 ER, right?
Let's see. Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do. So I even think rocket choppers could be a push point as well, because people will get boom cannons. But if you can get to 4 ER and rocket choppers day one with that troop damage that you pick up next to Brick, and you get flares, of course, which you will at the beginning.
Right.
You won't have shock bomb, which kind of sucks, but you'll rely on the critters to distract those cannons from shooting your rocket chopper. So I see a lot of different metas forming here between 3
Yeah.
and 4 ER. Yes.
And also too, like if we are rushing to bombardiers, like I don't know if that's really a benefit, right? Because like you said, if we're rushing there, how many people are gonna have, all of the defenses at that point? Like it might not even make sense to use bombers super early on.
It will not be.
Yeah, because they might just be too slow in general, even just with flaring.
Of
So
course. I think the bulk of the players out there, I know you finished very well. Good job on your last finished season. But like I know. All right, fine. Okay, that was back in Finland. All right, bro.
It's in every video.
You,
just in case you
deserve it. You deserve it. But like I said, early on, yes, people won't fully be D'd out. So that's going to be your time to strike as a warrior player and a rocket chopper player.
True.
Bombardiers are your kind of like lifeline when stuff gets really crazy. Then you use bombardiers.
Mm-hmm.
But the critters and the rocket choppers will be a nice addition. That GB is going to be nice too, for just GB abilities. But yeah, that boom cannon, guys, is a very interesting spot. That's a rocket chopper killer. And it has great range. The cannons are kind of, like I said, hit and miss, but it's going to be interesting. I'm going to D up this season because I didn't finish super high, and I'm not going to be able to reach for the stars like you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So
And
I'm going to be base riding for
There's
sure.
also so much boom cannon value this season. I think we have 2 multi-nodes where we can get 2 of them.
Look at
So
that,
there's
dude.
that one, and
Yeah.
I think there's another one where there's
A
2
Doom
boom
Cannon
cannons.
Shock Blaster looks pretty hot too.
Maybe not. Okay. Well, there's at least one where there's double boom cannons. So I mean, that's
And
always...
my most favorite of the season is Heavy Choppers Raptor 7.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. No early heavy
gonna-
choppers in 6
No,
or
you're
5
gonna have to rely on-
or
you're
4
gonna have to rely
last
on-
season.
Exactly. You're going to rely on Kavan with heavies,
Yeah.
riflemen, or whatever, or even Scorchers, or even mechs this season.
And you know what's cool, like especially talking about early on in the tech tree, I think for the first time in a while, sniper towers are optional. Typically, we always have sniper towers, and they're not really that like effective. So I think we can just skip the sniper towers, obviously skip the medics, and I think kind of what I've unlocked here is going to be typical what everybody's going to unlock on the first day. Zuka's building health, flamethrowers, mines. Because I don't know, unless your plan is to go bottom path, like OP was just talking about, bottom path to rocket choppers, which if you can get there really quickly, might be a pretty good push point. Especially if a lot of players don't have the boom cannons just yet. The thing is, if you're doing that, you don't have shock bombs. So running rocket choppers without shock bombs, that gets a little dicey.
Yeah, but chicken, you're forgetting something really too as well. If people do go bottom path, they'll have riflemen. But you know what the ticker is for rocket
True.
choppers, perhaps?
Yep.
Melee troops like the Warriors, if you just drop a couple boats to distract the boom cannons or cannons, rocket choppers can do their bid too as well.
Yeah,
without shock
absolutely.
bombs.
Because they're not going to have boom mines either, right? They're just going to have
Exactly.
regular mines.
So your Warriors could be they walk fast, they run fast, so they could keep up with rocket choppers. And if you let them out first, then rocket choppers behind them, that'd be a nice mini meat shield to kill off your cannons or boom cannons if people have them. So you don't need shocks theoretically if you think about it like that.
Right, so this is the 3-engine base, and I mean it even looks pretty susceptible to rocket choppers depending on how you
Yeah,
lay
it looks like a machine gun on a turret.
Yeah, kind of. It kind of looks like E.T. from the Alien movie.
Yeah, it does. It looks like E.T. or some kind of like Star Wars troop or something.
Like the big goofy head. But I don't know, if we're making an anti-rocket chopper base that, if they don't have shocks, I don't know. I just see it being really easily to be able to be picked apart by flying troops. So
Yeah,
I mean, we'll be at
100%.
4 by then, so we can take a quick look. I think I have enough stuff.
That's going to be a long trek for heavy rushers. So I think
Yeah.
warriors, if you do them right, like you split them up, like 2 get that ER, 2 get that ER, and then the others go the that way, and you have smoke and shocks.
Right.
I think you could warrior rush down these ERs faster than heavy rushers can.
That's true, because I mean, there's basically only, in terms of splash damage, well, there's machine guns, there's flamethrowers, but they don't have any DBD behind them at this point, and we have troop damage, so,
Yeah.
heavy
And you have
rushing will be a
shock bomb.
thing, like it always is.
Of course.
Yeah, but let's take a look at the 4 deck. So, I mean, this one's got some pretty big gaps in it, too. It's not as susceptible probably to rocket choppers, but you know, they'll definitely be viable. They'll definitely be viable. I mean, it's hard to say what's going to be perfect, what's going to be the, you know, best path to take on day one.
But we have to pick them up anyways.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, do we want to skip stuff? Do we want to get everything? It kind of remains to be seen. But hopefully that gives you guys an idea of at least what we're thinking. I think what I've got unlocked here at the very beginning is definitely the way to go, and then, you know, get into 3 and then kind of, you know, maybe lay back and see if people are really crushing it with defenses, or if jumping ahead to 4ER is the thing. The thing is 3ER is usually good, like really good for like a day or two, you know, and then 4ER, even if you don't have all the defenses, usually ends up being better depending if you can get there early. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, so real quick, a question to all the chickens, awesome commenters and subscribers. What do you guys plan on doing? Are you guys warrior players or are you heavy players? And yeah, that's what really will be in the 3ER. I'd be curious and read the comments as well as Chicken probably would. Are you guys warrior rushers or are you heavy rushers?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's. You know, you gotta pick what your path is, kind of like last season, and you gotta stick to it. I think.
I'm just soured that when I get bullet, 'cause I'll be getting bullet. I like bullet. I got to pick up brick too. That's just 84 keys.
Yeah,
I just do not want to burn through. So that's the price I'll be paying, but I'll pay it.
Yeah, I kind of wish they had just connected the smoke to the shock bomb, but we don't build the tech troops, right? So OP, thank you, man, for coming on. I appreciate you. And guys, if you haven't checked out his channel, make sure you check it out. No. It's just Optus. I think if you've made it this far along, you probably know who the guy is.
Yeah, that's not a good question for you. Does anybody know who I am other than just being on Chicken's video? If not, that's totally understandable because my wife doesn't know who I am. I'm kidding. Well, she does.
They're like, oh, that's the guy that comes on every 3 months.
Yeah, every once in a blue moon. Thanks for having me, and I really appreciate it, buddy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, there you go. There's your day one path for season 49. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if it's interesting, entertaining, or possibly informative. And we'll see you next one, guys. Chicken out.
Use code CHICKEN.